Good afternoon peeps, and welcome to the last video tasting now in our Christmas series. But last by no means least, I think this is possibly the best offer yet. So it's definitely worth watching the 3 minutes to get to the 4 so you find out what the offer is. And on this video now, I'm going to try very hard not to move my arms, just so I don't get too carried away like I do in most of the notes. So I'm going to try and keep my arms down here and train myself. Maybe the next time I do it, I'll have to have straps around my arms, but I will try and restrain myself today. Anyway, Niepoort, we're talking about port today. So we've got some fabulous ports. We've got the Tawny to try, and we're talking about Niepoort. It's a relatively small port producer in the general scheme of things, but nevertheless splendid. So we're talking about his Tawny today. And before we taste it, I want to tell you 4, well I think there's 3, but Jack says definitely 4, amazing facts about Niepoort. They are the only, I think the only remaining port producer to still crush their grapes by feet, or the majority of their grapes, not all of them, but the majority of them, in the lagars, so the big concrete tanks. They are the only port producer where their vintage port is 100% from that vintage, wines from that vintage. So normally with vintage port, 80% of the wine has to be from that specific vintage, but these guys have 100%. Thirdly, they're the only port producers to have the same family of cellar masters since they were created. That's 5 generations of the same family still working in the cellars of the Niepoort winery, which is astounding. Absolutely love that fact. And the final fact, which Jack was very adamant that we keep in here, is that the ports have no fining or filtering. So nothing's been, often sometimes producers don't like to fine because they believe it takes something out of the wine. So these don't have any fining or filtering. So let's have a taste. If you can get the top off, yeah. Just talk about yourself, yeah. Okay, so Tawny means it's been, they start off life very similar actually, but they go through a different sort of youth, if you like. One gets aged in small oak barrels, and this gets put in big large barrels. So the small oak barrels, it imparts much more flavour, so you expect the sort of lovely tawny colour, which is where it gets its name from. So on the nose it's lovely, really plummy, dried fruit, nutty nose. Beautiful. On the palate, it's got again that lovely concentrated dry fruit, quite figgy, I think, quite a lot of figs, plums. Really like, yeah, it's like prune, almost pruny sort of character. Absolutely beautiful. It's amazing, amazing quality. And the most amazing thing is, wait till you hear this, guys. It is normally £13.50, and for this week only, so that's the 13th to the 19th of December. 13th to the 19th, that's 7 days, folks. This is from £13.50 to £9.99. I mean, that's amazing. For a £10, that is phenomenal. Remember, voucher, come in, shout port offer, you know, just come and get it. It's just fantastic. And if you really want to party, go for the big magnums of the Tawny. That is a true way to celebrate Christmas.